Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will set up DHCP with a relay agent in GNS3. Normally, our DHCP server assigns IP to devices in network. But what if DHCP server and clients are in different network? That is where our DHCP relay agent comes in. It forwards DHCP requests from clients to our DHCP server in another network, allowing automatic IP assignment across different networks. Why use a DHCP relay agent? The DHCP server is not in the same subnet as the clients. A router relay agent forward DHCP request to the server. Clients still get IPs automatically even across different networks. So we have discussed DHCP with relay agent. Our network topology will be consisting of one router that will act as a DHCP server, another router that will act as relay agent, a switch, and a PC that will be a DHCP client. So we have discussed network topology. Let's jump into GNS3 and create a new object. Now let's add devices. We have added two routers and a switch and PC1. Now let's connect these devices. Let me write down IP addresses that we will be assigning to these ports. Now let's configure router as a DHCP server. For that, configure terminal. Next we have to write IP. This will reserve some IPs. This command will create a DHCP pool. You can name whatever you like. I am naming my pool as my network. Next we have to define network for remote clients. Next we have to assign a default router. Default router is another name for gateway. Relay agent that will act as the gateway. Next, DNS-server. It converts domains into IP addresses. We are using Google DNS. Now accept. Okay, we are done with this step. We are done with this step. Now it's time to assign IP to R1 interface. Interface. We have done this. Now configure relay agent. As our router 2 is acting as relay agent, so we will go in custom console and configure our relay agent. We have configured 0x0 port of R2. Now let's configure F2x0 port. Okay. We are done with assigning IP addresses to our router 2 interfaces. enable the relay agent. To enable relay agent, we have to first write interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0, which in this case is this port. Here we have to write IP helper 192.168.1.1. This will forward DHCP request to R1. Exit. Now R2 will relay DHCP request from clients to the DHCP server. Okay, we are done with this. Now let's configure client. For that, we have to open PCs1 console. Write IP. Since DHCP server R1 is in different network, it must know how to reach this network, which is 192.168.2.0. For this, we have to write IP route, the network 192.168.2.0, the subnet mask, and the gateway that R1 will take to reach this network. Now let's move on to PC1 and try to fetch an IP or request IP from DHCP server. Perfect, we have received an IP. So DHCP server assigned 192.168.2.11 to PC1. Next, to verify DHCP configuration, first let's check this step. First, let's mark this step as done. First, let's mark this step as done. Next, we have to verify DHCP configuration. For this purpose, we will run a command on R2. Now, first, let's run command in R1. Show IP DHCP binding. Let's run a command on R1 to see assigned IPs. Okay, so here it is. Now let's check if the relay agent is forwarding request to R1. So in R2, right? So yes, it is forwarding request. To check IP on PC1, move on to PC and you have to write show. Here it is. Now let's test connectivity. For that, I will write ping 192.168.2.1. So yes, DHCP with relay agent is working. Let's mark all the steps as done. Okay, so we are done with this video.